Hey there, my name is Krystal Everdeen, and today I'm going to show you how to crochet this sunflower granny square. It would be helpful if you already have some idea of how to make granny squares, but if you don't, I'll try to still make this as beginner friendly as possible. So the materials you will need include 3 different colors. One for the center of the flower. I chose black, but you can also use brown or any color that you like. Yellow for the petals, since this is a sunflower, and then burgundy for the outside part of the granny square, just because I have a lot of yarn in this color, but of course you can use whatever color you'd like, and I am also using a size 5mm hook. Now the first thing that you're going to do is grab the color that you're going to use for the center of the flower. Mine is the color black, and then you're going to create a slip knot. And after you've created your slip knot, then you're going to chain 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And after you've created your chain of 5, you're actually going to go into the very first chain that you created and attach them with a slip stitch. So just yarn over and then bring your hook through both of the stitches to attach them together. And once you've attached them together, then you've created this little circle with an opening in the center. And with that opening in the center, you're actually going to start creating double crochets within that opening. And if you're unfamiliar with what a double crochet is yarn over through the stitch, or the opening in this case, yarn over back through the stitch, yarn over through 2 loops, then yarn over through the last 2 loops. Again, yarn over through the stitch, yarn over back through the stitch, yarn over through 2 loops, then yarn over through the last 2 loops. Again, yarn over through the stitch, yarn over back through the stitch, yarn over through 2 loops, yarn over through the last 2 loops. And that's what a double crochet is, and you're going to be creating 12 double crochets all within the same opening of that circle that you created. And after you've created all 12 double crochets, your project should look something like this. And then you're going to slip stitch into the very first double crochet that you created to complete the row. And after you've completed the row, you're going to cut the yarn from the yarn ball, bring in your second color, which is the yellow in this case, since we're making sunflowers. And you're just going to attach it any way that you normally attach a second color to a project. What I normally do is I simply just add the new color onto the hook and then just crochet with it. I can't really explain what I do. I just pretty much replace the old color with the new color and just continue crocheting as normal. So with your new color, you're going to chain 3, and then you're going to yarn over, go through the stitch, yarn over, go back through the stitch, yarn over, go through 1 loop, yarn over, go through 2 loops, and then just leave it as is, like this, with the extra loops on your hook. Then you're going to yarn over, go through that same stitch, yarn over, go back through the stitch, yarn over, go through 1 loop, yarn over, go through 2 loops, and then just leave it like that with the extra loops on your hook still. Finally, you're going to make 1 more, yarn over through the same stitch, yarn over, back through the stitch, yarn over through 1 loop, yarn over through 2 loops, and now you have a total of 4 loops on your hook, and you're just going to bring your hook through all of them to create 1 cluster, and that's going to serve as a petal. And you're going to make a total of 12 of these all throughout the row. So after you've created your cluster, you're going to chain 2 and then go into the next stitch and do the same thing. Yarn over through the stitch, yarn over back through the stitch, yarn over through 1 loop, yarn over through 2 loops, and then just leave it as is. Then you're going to yarn over, go through the same stitch, yarn over, go back through the stitch, yarn over through 1 loop, yarn over through 2 loops, and then just leave it as is. Then you're going to make the last one, yarn over through the same stitch, yarn over back through the stitch, yarn over through 1 loop, yarn over through 2 loops, and then you have a total of 4 loops on your hook. So you're just going to bring it through all of those loops and create another cluster, aka another sunflower petal. And after you completed that one, you're going to chain 2 and then create your next petal inside of the next stitch. So again, yarn over through the stitch, yarn over back through the stitch, yarn over through 1 loop, yarn over through 2 loops, and then just leave it as that. Then you're going to yarn over, go through the stitch, yarn over, go back through the stitch, yarn over through 1 loop, yarn over through 2 loops, and then just leave it as that. Then make 1 more, yarn over to the same stitch, yarn over, back through the stitch, yarn over through 1 loop, yarn over through 2 loops, and then you're left with 4 loops on your hook. So you're just going to bring them all together like so. Then you're going to chain 2 and continue on with this pattern until you've created a total of 12 petals. And once you've created 12 petals, then your project will look something like this, which you may think looks strange and not at all like a sunflower, but trust me, after we do our last row for this granny square, it will definitely look like a sunflower. So again, make sure that you've created 12 petals, and once you have, then you're going to go into that first petal that you created and slip stitch into it to complete the row. And after you have completed this row, then you're going to cut the yarn from the yarn ball and then attach your new color. And again, this color could be whatever color you want. Well, really, all of these colors can be whatever color you want. It could be any type of flower, but since we're making sunflowers, that's why the petals are yellow. And the center is either going to be black or brown or another dark color like that. But yeah, totally up to you, whatever you want to do. Again, it's time to attach the third color, and mine is burgundy. So after I have attached this color, I chain 3, and once I have chained 3, then I moved on to the next step, which is to create clusters of double crochets inside of the openings that we made when we chained 2 in between each petal. So go into that first opening and create 1 cluster of 3 double crochets. So that's 1 double crochet, this is double crochet number 2, and this is double crochet number 3. So after I've created my 3 double crochets, I'm going to chain 3 and then go into the same opening and create another cluster of double crochets, which is just 3 double crochets in a row. So this is double crochet number 2, and then double crochet number 3 all inside of that same opening. And what I just created is a corner. So this is going to be the first corner of my granny square. So again, a cluster of 3 double crochets followed by chain 3, followed by 1 more cluster of 3 double crochets. So for this row, you're going to be working in between the spaces of the petals. So after you've created your corner, you're going to move on to the next opening and create just 1 cluster made up of 3 double crochets. So that's 3 double crochets, perfect. Moving on to the next opening, and I'm going to create another 3 double crochets in a row, which make up 1 cluster of double crochets. And then after I've created those 2 in between, I'm going to make yet another corner. So the pattern is going to be corner, 1 double crochet cluster, 1 double crochet cluster, and then corner, and then 1 double crochet cluster, 1 double crochet cluster, and then corner, and so on. So again, I'm making a corner right here, which is 1 cluster of 3 double crochets, and then chain 3, and then another cluster of 3 double crochets all inside of the same opening. And after I finish my 3rd double crochet here, I'm going to show you that yes, it is indeed another corner. Yay! So after I've created the 2nd corner, I'm going to move on to those single clusters. So inside of the next opening, I'm going to create 3 double crochets to form 1 cluster of double crochets. Then I'm going to move on to the next opening and create 3 double crochets. And after that, I'm going to create another corner inside of the next opening, which is again a cluster of double crochets. And after I've created my 3rd double crochet to complete that cluster, I'm going to chain 3 and then create 3 more double crochets to create my last cluster inside of this same opening, and that will make a corner. And after I'm done with that corner, I'm just going to move on to the next opening and create 3 double crochets to create 1 cluster of double crochets. And then I'm going to move on to the next opening and make another set of 3 double crochets to form a cluster of double crochets. And then I'm going to move on to the next opening, which is going to be a corner. So I'm going to create 1 cluster of double crochet, then chain 3, 2, 3, and then crochet another cluster of double crochets. So this is my 2nd double crochet, then my 3rd double crochet, and then I've created a corner. So this is what the project looks like when it's almost done. So I'm just going to complete the last 2 clusters of double crochet. So this is going to be the first cluster and then the last cluster right here in this last opening. So 1 double crochet, then 2 double crochet, and 3 double crochet. And after I've completed the last cluster, I'm going to go into the very first stitch that I made in this row and slip stitch into it to attach them all together and complete this entire row. And as I said before, it totally looks way more like a sunflower now. So I'm just going to detach the yarn from the yarn ball and then pull the excess through the last loop to seal the project. And voila, you have an adorable sunflower granny square. Now you could do so many things with this pattern. You can make way more of these and attach them all together and create a quilt or a blanket or a cardigan or anything you like. I'm actually going to be making a crochet crop top since it is springtime and music festival season is upon us, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are going to enjoy a new crochet top tutorial. If you are interested in free crochet patterns and tutorials, please check out the rest of my channel. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up before you go, and also click that red subscribe button if you have not already so I can see you next time. Bye!